Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, why didn't I say what I really meant? Why do some people speak with such clarity while you struggle to find the right words over and over again? Why do a few voices command respect the moment they speak, while you often feel invisible or ignored? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Smart communication is not a talent you are born with. It is a skill you can learn step by step. It is not about using big, fancy words or trying to sound intellectual just to impress people. It is about knowing how to speak so your voice is heard, your message is clear, and your presence is felt in the room. You gain presence without raising your volume and without pretending to be someone else. This audiobook will show you how to speak with calm, grounded confidence every single day. You will learn how to influence without manipulation, how to build trust, and how to be taken seriously. If you are ready to stop shrinking in silence and finally speak smart in meetings, relationships, and real-life moments, then what you are about to hear can genuinely change the way people respond to you. Because when you learn to speak smart, you change how the world reads you, respects you, and remembers you. Now let us begin this journey into powerful communication. Chapter 1. Why Speaking Smart Matters More Than Ever. Imagine walking into a room full of professionals, strangers, or potential opportunities. Within the first 30 seconds of you speaking, people have already formed a judgment about your credibility. That is the silent truth of human interaction and everyday communication. The way you speak creates your identity in people's minds long before your actions have time to prove anything. Research from Princeton University shows that people form first impressions in milliseconds. Those impressions are shaped by your tone of voice, the clarity of your speech, and the words you choose. In a world driven by fast, chaotic communication, your voice has become your personal signature. How smart you sound often decides whether doors open for you or quietly close. Speaking smart is about delivering your message with clarity, structure, and confidence. Every time you speak, you are either building credibility or slowly losing it. Think of powerful leaders like Barack Obama or Martin Luther King Jr. They knew exactly when to pause, how to pace their words, and how to command attention without shouting. Their voices carried weight not because of volume, but because of intention and precision. In a noisy world full of distraction, the truly smart speaker stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. If you speak smart, people tend to trust you. If you sound vague and scattered, they tune you out. Speaking smart is not a rare talent. It is a learnable skill that anyone can practice and master. What you need is a growth mindset, a few solid techniques, and the willingness to keep showing up and using them. Chapter 2. The Science of Sounding Intelligent. What actually makes someone sound smart to others on a consistent basis? Surprisingly, it is not just vocabulary, grammar, accent, or education. It is something deeper, how the brain reacts to sound, rhythm, and structure. Neuroscience shows that people are drawn to speech that is clear, rhythmic, and emotionally grounded. The human brain prefers organized language delivered at a steady pace with natural pauses. When you speak with rhythm, pause at the right moments, and emphasize key words, you hold people's attention. A Harvard study found that people who speak slightly slower and more deliberately are often seen as more intelligent and more trustworthy. It is not about dragging your words, it is about giving your message room to breathe. Smart speakers respect silence. They know a pause is not empty time, it is part of the message. A well-timed pause after a strong sentence allows the listener's brain to process and feel its weight. Your tone tells the listener how to feel about what you are saying, often before they fully understand the content. If your words are the gift, your tone is the wrapping that makes them attractive and easy to receive. Smart speakers know how to guide the listener's focus simply by where they place their emphasis. The brain rewards clarity with dopamine, the feel-good chemical that signals reward and understanding. The more the brain enjoys your speech pattern, the faster it labels you as intelligent, credible, and worth listening to. Chapter 3. Vocabulary without complexity. Most people secretly believe that to sound smart, you must use big words and complicated phrases. But the truth is almost the opposite of that idea. Smart communicators do not try to sound smart, they try to be understood. Being understood is the highest form of intelligence in real communication. If your message confuses the listener, it does not matter how advanced your vocabulary is. Clarity will always beat unnecessary complexity. Albert Einstein reportedly said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." The smartest people can explain complex ideas in simple, practical language. They choose words with precision, not with ego. They want impact, not applause. They care about connection, not confusion. Smart vocabulary is like seasoning in food. A little bit adds flavor, but too much ruins the dish. Here are 3 ways to upgrade your vocabulary without sounding fake or forced. First, use precise verbs to cut the fluff. Instead of "he made the decision," simply say "he decided." Second, replace filler words like just, kind of, or sort of with a short, intentional pause. Third, build a small, smart word bank. Learn a few useful words each week that are clear, strong, and practical. Choose words that help your message land, not words that hide your meaning and distance you from your listener. Language is a bridge. Complicated words create distance. Clear words build trust and connection. Chapter 4. Speak with structure. Words are powerful, but words without structure are like bricks without a blueprint. They fall apart, create confusion, and leave very little impact. If you want to speak smart, you must organize your thoughts in a way that is easy to follow and hard to forget. Smart speakers do not just talk. They build their message one clear step at a time. Every strong message has 3 basic parts: setup, core idea, and close. First, you set the stage, then you deliver your main point. Finally, you close with a takeaway or action. The human brain is wired to follow patterns, and this 3-part structure feels natural and persuasive. Another tool is the rule of 3. Our brains love groups of 3. They feel complete and satisfying. When you make a key point, break it into 3 parts. For example, there are 3 reasons this will work. It is cost-effective, it is scalable, and it is backed by data. You can also use signposting phrases like, "Here is why this matters," or "Let me break this down." These small signals show you are organized and guide the listener so they never feel lost. Storytelling is the ultimate structure for smart speaking because stories naturally have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Structure does not limit your voice. It amplifies it and makes your message easier to remember. Chapter 5. Confidence is contagious. Someone walks into a room, says a few words, and suddenly everyone is paying attention. What makes their voice stand out so quickly? Most of the time, it is not volume. It is confidence. When you speak with confidence, people start listening even before they fully process your words. Confidence is not arrogance. It is being grounded in your message. It is speaking as if what you are saying genuinely matters. The moment you believe your voice deserves to be heard, other people start believing it too. That belief flows from you to the listener and creates trust and authority. Confident speaking is not about having no fear. It is about speaking even while fear is present. You do not have to feel confident to sound confident. Start with your posture. Your body speaks before your mouth does. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and make steady eye contact. Your message will instantly feel stronger. Confident speakers use clear, firm sentences instead of endless hedging and softening. They often end their sentences with a downward tone, signaling certainty rather than doubt. Filler words like and like weaken your presence and make you sound unsure. A pause is more powerful than a filler word. Silence signals control and thoughtfulness. Confidence is a muscle, not a gift. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Record yourself speaking and practice saying your key message in different ways until it feels natural in your mouth. Confidence can turn a quiet voice into a powerful presence that people remember long after the conversation ends. Chapter 6. Listening is speaking smart. Here is a secret most people never learn. The smartest speakers are not the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who listen the best. To sound truly intelligent and earn respect, you must first master the art of active listening. Listening is not just hearing the words. It is understanding the meaning, the feeling, and the intent behind them. It shows that you are reflecting, not just reacting, and that you care about accuracy, not just speed. People trust speakers who respond with relevance instead of delivering memorized lines that ignore the situation. Listening gives your responses depth. It makes your words more precise and less generic. Listening is active participation without constant interruption. It includes eye contact, nodding, and resisting the impulse to jump in the moment you have a thought. When people feel heard and understood, they open up and share more honestly. Smart communication is not about winning arguments. It is about helping others feel understood and respected. Listening also sharpens your message. Instead of guessing what to say, you tailor your response to what you just heard. Here is the golden rule. Listen to understand, not just to reply. Do not treat conversation like a competition to be won. Treat it like a dance you share with the other person. Chapter 7. Eliminating filler words and weak language. Sometimes sounding smarter is about what you remove from your speech. Filler words and weak phrases quietly drain your power one small word at a time. Words like like, and sort of slip in without you noticing. They dilute your message and make you sound unsure, even when your idea is strong. Filler words are a sign that your mouth is moving faster than your mind. They appear when you are thinking and talking at the same time without pausing. Weak language also includes phrases like, "This might sound stupid, but," or "I'm not an expert, but." These lines apologize for you before you have even spoken your real thought. Smart speaking does not beg for permission, it stands on its own value. You need to cut these verbal habits if you want your message to land with strength. Practice using the pause instead. Silence is almost always better than a filler word. Write down a few power phrases such as, "Here is what I recommend," or "The main point is this." Use them to start your sentences instead of weak, apologetic openers. Also pay attention to your tone. Even strong words can sound weak if your voice rises at the end, like a question. When your tone drops at the end of a sentence, it sounds like a conclusion instead of a doubt. Chapter 8. The Art of Asking Smart Questions. Smart speaking is not only about giving great answers. Often, it is about asking great questions. Smart questions reveal a focused, curious mind that is really processing what is being said. They show depth, genuine interest, and a desire to understand the core issue, not just the surface. The quality of your questions shapes the quality of your life and your conversations. If you ask shallow questions, you get shallow answers. If you ask deeper questions, you unlock deeper insight. Ask open-ended questions that require more than a simple yes or no. Use phrases like, "What is the biggest concern here?" or "How does this decision affect our main goal?" Ask follow-up questions based on what the other person just said. This proves that you were listening and not simply waiting for your turn to speak. When someone gives an easy answer, gently ask, "Why do you think that is true?" This nudges the conversation to a more thoughtful level. The goal is not to constantly tell people what you know. The goal is to help them uncover what they think, feel, and believe. Chapter 9. Tailoring your message to the audience. The sharpest idea in the world fails if it is delivered to the wrong audience in the wrong way. Speaking smart means tailoring your message to the person or group in front of you. You do not speak to your boss in the exact same way you speak to your closest friend. A smart communicator is like a translator of ideas. You translate your knowledge into language that fits the listener's world. This habit shows empathy, respect, and emotional intelligence. Tailoring your message is how you create maximum impact with minimum noise. First, understand your audience's level of knowledge, interest, and background. If they are beginners, use simple explanations and real-life examples. If they are experts, skip the basics and move straight into details and specific data. Second, identify what matters most to them right now, their goals, fears, or pressures. Frame your message around what they already care about. Use examples, metaphors, or stories that come from their reality, not just yours. When people feel that you get them, they listen longer and trust you more. When you respect your audience enough to speak their language, they reward you with attention and loyalty. Chapter 10. The Power of Authenticity and Vulnerability. The final pillar of smart speaking is authenticity and vulnerability. Many people think sounding smart means always looking perfect and in control. They try to act like they know every answer and never feel unsure. But that performance creates distance and makes you feel less human. Real connection and real influence are built on honesty and shared humanity. Authenticity is the bridge that connects your ideas to the listener's heart. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the courage to let people see who you really are. It shows that you are secure enough in yourself to be real, not polished all the time. Share the why behind your ideas, not just the technical details. Share a short, relevant story from your own life that illustrates your point. A small, honest moment of vulnerability can make your message more relatable and more memorable. Stop reciting generic lines that anyone could have copied from a slide or an article. Smart speaking is not about sounding perfect. It is about sounding real, clear, and deeply sincere. Your authentic voice is the most powerful communication tool you have. Remember this guiding instruction every time you open your mouth to speak. You are no longer the person who shrinks in silence or feels invisible in the room. You now understand the science of clarity, the power of structure, and the strength of well-used silence. You know that sounding smart is not about being complicated or overly wordy. It is about being clear, confident, and intentional with every sentence you choose. Choose to build your credibility with structure, clarity, listening, and authenticity. The world does not need another loud voice. It needs a thoughtful one, and that can be you. Go out into your conversations, your meetings, and your relationships and practice speaking smart every day. You have the knowledge, you have the tools, you have the right to be heard. The world is ready to respond to the new, smarter, more grounded version of you.